Hey everybody, welcome to Boondock Dwayne's RV show. Today I'm going to be doing the long-awaited video on the new Furrion Chill low profile 15K with heat pump and the new gear drive video that I've been kind of waiting on. I do have some notes. It's going to be kind of a long video. I'm going to tell you right up front, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the install because it's a standard AC install. I will briefly go over that. The first thing I want to talk about is the unit itself, how we got it. We were given this to evaluate by a company, and it was not Lippert. They knew we were going to be heading right into the Florida Keys, the middle Keys, where it's 89, feels like up to 101, and humid. So we have had it since April, and we have been evaluating it. And I will say it's everything we had hoped for. Everyone was hoping it would be like the Chill Cube. And speaking of that, let's go into what it actually is called. Because it's not called a Chill Cube anymore. It is the Furrion Chill 15K low profile with heat pump and gear drive. In fact, here is the box that it came in, and nowhere does it say Cube on it. I want to make sure everyone going forward does not get this confused, because it's already happening with the Furrion Chill HE low profile, the loud, like 13.5, 8K, just freight train. This is the Furrion Chill low profile inverter AC unit with heat pump and gear drive. It doesn't say gear drive. It should say that on the box. I did make a bunch of notes, so this is going to be a longer video. Get a beverage and some popcorn or whatever your snacks. And I'm going to try to do this kind of how I wrote it. So I will be looking away from the camera. I'm not being rude, but there is a lot of pictures. This was a lot of people waiting a very long time for this. Patiently waiting, checking online all the time. I finally got Furrion released the stats and the specs for it online, and I was searching for that almost every morning just to see if anything was moving forward. And we saw the specs and the stats, so I did a post in our Brinkley groups. Of course, ours is on our Brinkley Z3100, 35 foot, 2 ACs, one in the bedroom in the front and one in the main cabin. That is a Chill Cube, but it is a 2.5-year-old Chill Cube, and I'll get to that later in the video. So we did get it. We've been evaluating it. It is called a Chill, Furrion Chill low profile inverter AC. I want to give props to Brinkley though. So in all this waiting and everything, Brinkley goes and on the Z's, and they've already been doing it on their bigger Z Air, like the travel trailers have already been doing two Chill Cubes. So on the Z fifth wheels, they just got tired of waiting it. They have 2 Chill Cubes now in the main cabin. The rear has the swing gates for distribution right there in the main cabin. Then they put one in front, and it's ducted to the bathroom and the bedroom. There's like no sound in there now. So we're actually a little jealous of that. All the new ones are rolling off that way. People are getting them, and they're totally happy and amazed, and they don't need the Chill low profile. But many of us do. So I'll briefly go over the install after we talk about how to get it. So I had mentioned we talked about it. I did some posts. All of a sudden, eTrailer had it for pre-sale. They sold like 189 in a few hours. Then all of a sudden, they canceled all the orders and they pulled it because there was confusion on part numbers, on ducted, ductless. Which one do I get? I have a couple of ducts, but then I need it for downdraft in the bedroom. I'm going to tell you, call Lippert. Call Lippert. I know Lippert, eTrailer, and Elkhart RV Parts. Those are the big ones that are going to have it. You can call them. I would call Lippert and get your actual part numbers. I will show you. This is out of the manual. It shows the newer Chill Cube on the left and the Chill low profile, and that is the new ductless register down in the lower right corner, and that is what I do have. As far as the ducted ductless, There is a full installation kit that comes with the new Furrion thermostat, and it does have the gear drive functions and the heat pump functions. So you just need to call Lippert and find out what you really want. I'm telling most people to just get the ductless version like we have. Has a swing gate in the front, one in the rear. This is north and south in our trailer, and then it has 2 manually opening side gates. We do have the one duct that goes to the bathroom, and we can simply adjust the swings for airflow as we need it. Now, in this same manual, I was kind of miffed. Why would you need the ducted? Because you can just use the remote and not use the control wires, because right here in the manual, it is telling you to use the ductless version and turn off the swing and close the vanes to use ducts. So use the ductless for the ducted. That's what I would want to do. That's what we have. So I'm telling everyone, just excuse me, just get the ductless. Again, call Furrion. Make sure that's what you want to do. In the installed, it looks like this. That's the big swing gate in the front, one in the rear, and then the manual's on the side. We're going to go to my notes real quick and make sure we have everything covered. I know, I told you it was going to be long. So ducted or ductless, I say ductless. We use the remote. The 15K or the 13.5, we got the 15K, and I'm glad. I wouldn't want the 13.5, because with the gear drive, which I'll get into later, you'll see why would I even want that. I don't, because of the regulation with the gear drive. So we went over ducted and ductless. So mounting this, it's a standard AC. It's 14.25-inch square hole in your roof. So if you already have an air conditioner, you want to pull that one, clean around the opening. The new Chill comes with its own foam gaskets already installed. It's basically getting rid of the old, even if it's a Max Air or a Fantastic Fan, getting rid of that. Cleaning, thoroughly cleaning, centering, installing, and then it is literally 4 bolts. They're 8-inch, quarter 20s, 8-inch long. Standard Furrion, most AC bolts are 6 or 8. These are 8s. And if you're replacing a Chill HE, you can reuse the same bolts. So standard AC install, line everything up, put on your base plate. I'll go through a few pictures. Here is our duct. Here's a better one. This is our duct that goes into the from the air distribution box area to our bathroom. It has the standard air diverter that you put in on the plate, and then you once your AC is centered, it's the 4 bolts, and those are torqued to 40-inch pounds, not 40 foot-pounds, 40-inch pounds. And once you've installed these, and you go for a couple of trips, have your partner pull the 4 screws, pull your air distribution box down, and retorque those to 40-inch pounds. Wiring wise, here's our standard wiring that comes in. There's the yellow Romex going into the Furrion's little plastic AC box for the 120 volt. It is just a hot, a common, and a ground. All hooks in there. Mine came with Wagoos. I don't know if yours does or not. Mine came with Wagoos, and it was a quick install. As far as the control wires, I am not using those thermostat cables on the right. I'm just using the swing vane stepper connectors. There are two, and they're kind of looped together. And then the display connector cable all plugs right in. Here's mine. You can see the little loom on the left with the red wire. That was the 12 volt, and the control wires, I've just looped those over up in the air box, looped those over, capped them off, and then here, and I taped it to that longer control wire. Here it is again. I don't need those because I'm not using the remote. What's funny is there were only 2 wires that were marked. They were marked C. The others had no markings. Maybe that's because mine was one of the original. Mine was 9 of 20 that were in the United States. Anyways, once those wires are connected, you're going to take your air box. There's everything together, the screws, and you're going to install your distribution box. The wires, here's a pic where there's that nice little runner right there for the control panel. That's where my extra wires sit. And when you're all done, it looks like this. The control panel itself, standard control panel, has all the functions you need. The modes, the mode of course is cool, heat, the heat pump, dry air, and fan. And then the fan speeds are auto, speed 1, 2, and 3. Turbo is super blaster, which is, we all know, is not so bad on a chill cube. The button 1 minus and button plus, of course, is just your temperature up and down. What am I missing? Power button, and then the gear drive. The gear drive, we'll get to that next. Here's a picture of the remote, and it has all the same function. It does have a clock function and a lock function, which is cool. The manual clearly states what all the different modes are. There they are. Explains what all the buttons are. Let's get into this gear function, the gear drive. The gear drive will literally go from full power. Actually, I have pics of me doing it. And yeah, it's 83 in there. That's the 83 degrees because I had everything off, retorquing my bolts because we went from the Keys to Miami for doctor's appointments. So I retorqued it when we got back and shot all these pictures. So the gear function, you start out in 0, 0. That is full power. Next is 50% power. It will use only up to 50% power as it needs to use the cooling settings or the heat pumps, whatever functions you have set and temperatures, it will use 50% of the power to do that. It also has 75%, so it will use 75% of the power as it sees fit. This is how I was getting off the wall consumption readings of as low as 164 watts with them both chill cubes working back and forth. Absolutely. I mean, there's a couple I didn't even do a snapshot because you guys just wouldn't believe me. So now I'm going to go back to my notes and see how far off I am. I did all that. Make sure you, when you're, I forgot, when doing your install, make sure you turn your AC power off. And then once it's installed, turn your AC breaker and power back on. I think that's the only thing I forgot. I can do the overview and get to the performance. I have a lot of different screenshots. I did a lot of different things using the gear drive. When we're boondocking, and we were boondocking with it, when we were in Florida, we were at Larry Penny Memorial. We were there for a week doing all our doctor appointments, and that was in June. And it was really hot and muggy, thunderstorms every night. I kind of used the gear drive for almost everything, and then I did some snapshots where I'm using 50% gear drive, then 75. The hard part is, and so I did a bunch of snapshots. We'll start out with both of them. This is like 75 degrees, low fan, and like 50% gear drive. And as you can see, I'm pulling at 310 watts. Leg 1, L1, so you're looking at the right side. I could have circled this, I guess. Leg 1 is the old school chill cube, and leg 2 is the new Furrion in the bedroom. There's just some off-the-wall settings. This is the good one. 311 we kind of found is our average at like 75% gear drive in the bedroom. And you can see it's down at 20 watts on 75 on leg 2. And then the main chill cube was doing its thing, and it was at only, geez, is that right? Yeah, 311. It's not even really registering. That's weird. That is weird. I don't know why my Victron VRM was doing that. 310. That's more like it. Anyways, you're going to see these numbers. And as far as consumption, 480 is kind of normal. And that's the 480 is running in 50. The rest of them are 50% or no gear drive moving forward. 480, and as you can see, the leg 1 is in the 300s, and leg 2, the bedroom was already to temp in the smaller room, and it was just in cruiser mode. 494. I mean, I'm just going to go through these. Here's, we're as we're moving forward on consumption, I'm just showing everything as we use it. So we don't ever have to run both chill cubes on full power, never on turbo. The balance is what I want to talk about. The balance between the main room running all the time as a chill cube does, and the bedroom and the bathroom duct, because we leave our bathroom door open. It is the same temperature throughout the whole trailer. There's no wild swing like we had with our, here I circled one. This gives you a better idea. 878, that's with both compressors running. I think the most, 912, that's both compressors running in the 500s, 400 and 500. 927, that is the most I've ever seen other than just turning them both on turbo, and it was 1300. And I have a snapshot for that, but we've never run our chill cubes on such a setting. So 3.5 months. It's absolutely amazing. The gear drive is so amazing. Our chill cube that came with our Brinkley is 2.5 years old. We're definitely going to get rid of that and get the new chill cube with the gear drive. And then our numbers will even drop more. I wouldn't be shocked if we just run 350 to 400 out boondocking in the desert. So it was worth the wait. The new Chill 15K low profile was definitely worth the wait. I would definitely get a hold of Lippert if you're looking to make the change. You can call eTrailer and see where they're at with it, and Elkhart RV. Those are the two big Lippert distributors. I don't think I missed anything. Be sure to contact me if you have any other questions. This was just that overview. I'm going to do another one at 6 months because we are leaving our home base here in the Keys. We've been here for, almost 4 months total. And we're going to be heading up the eastern seaboard to Maine and come back for the fall colors. Then we'll be at the Tolona Ridge Rally. That's always fun. November 6th, we arrive. And then we're going to be working our way boondocking all the way to California for Christmas. And we'll be going south, doing the lower deserts. So I'll have more evaluations, and I'll do like a 6-month update with more numbers. Right now, this was just to get it out there. I'm checking over notes. Again, Furrion Chill, not Chill Cube. I want to make sure that everyone has that down. Call Lippert. I'm kind of being too redundant here. As far as my channel, I am going to start doing a live show of some type every Sunday. I kind of want to, there's so many channels and so much input and so many videos out there. I just kind of stopped, and I stopped with what I had. And what am I going to do? So I'm going to start doing a live one. It'll start out slow, and I just want people to chat in and see that I'm there every Sunday for an hour and just talk about RVs and talk about things. We can talk about Battleborn. We can talk about 12-volt fridges and their failure rates or cooling problems. We'll kind of let it be up to you. My social media is out there. If you just search Boondock Dwayne, you will find me. I appreciate you watching. Please contact me if you have any other questions, and I thank you so much.